How do you stop people pleasing? How do you stop saying yes when really you want to say no? How do you stop overthinking and having worries about what other people are thinking, maybe because you said yes or you didn't say no? All that people pleasing, how do we stop it? That's what we're going to be talking about in this video. But before we dive in, don't forget to like, subscribe and leave a comment below. And if you're interested in joining our free community of high performers, the 1%, the link is below. So, people pleasing. This is something I'm I'm still recovering people pleaser. I've done the inner work, so I know where it comes from. And obviously I've worked with my coach, I've even done a bit of work with yourself, of where it stems from. And it's taken years and years and lots of inner work for me to respond to that people pleasing and say no. So when I'm saying no to other people and using effective communication, and I'm saying yes to me. But it's took a lot of work on that. So where, for you, because your expertise, where does the people pleasing come from when someone is a people pleaser?
Childhood.
Childhood.
Yeah.
Do we start off with what a definition of a people pleaser is?
Well, I think it's fairly simplistic, but really you're pleasing others at the expense of your own health and your own wellness and what you actually want to do. And it's usually due to low self-esteem. If I say no to them, they're going to potentially reject me, which will therefore affect me because I want to be closer to that person.
Yeah.
So I have to do what I perceive they want me to do, then they might like me more, so then I don't feel as neglected or ostracised.
But then you suffer.
Yes,
You're the
you
one that
do.
suffers because it's kind of the whole shining in the light but crying in the dark when you get back home, for example. Oh, fuck, we didn't want to do that.
Exactly, yeah. So then it creates a lot of guilt. And guilt then turns to shame, because guilt is I did something bad, shame is I am bad. So you'll have the event, let's say a friend, I had this literally a few months ago. My partner said to me, oh, it's my friend's 30th birthday in Kent. Now, for context, we're about 5.5 to 6 hours away on a good day from Kent. And we would be going down on the Friday and we were returning on the Saturday. She said, oh, do you want to come? And I said, can I think about it? That's the best thing you can do, by the way. Because people pleasers, my instantaneous response used to be, yeah, okay.
Sure.
Then I'd think about it. Then I'd say no, friction, friction, friction. Now, and then I'd just submit. Then I'd go, I'd hate it, because I'd not hate the person, but I don't like the fact that I'm travelling that far for someone I don't know that well. Oh my God, what am I doing this for? Then you start to get annoyed at yourself. Then later on down the line, you might use it as resentment against your partner.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't want to go to that thing. Well, why don't you just tell me then? Because you don't feel like you can. So when someone says, would you like to go? Or would you like to do this? Would you like to do that? Can I think about it and come back to you?
Can I check my schedule?
Yeah. I'll check my phone. I'll check my calendar. I'm going to return to this. Whatever. But just put in a little bit of a barrier or a boundary, which we'll go into a little bit more detail. It then gives you time to process and to think about the pros and the cons. It might be you still decide to do it and you actually want to do it. That is an outcome. Cool. But for the most part, you don't want to do it. And if you had the choice, and if I hooked you up to a lie detector test, you'd probably say, I don't want to do it. So I paused and I said, I'll come back to you. Then I said, I appreciate the invite, but on this occasion, I'm going to decline. But we have to go. We don't. We don't have to go, and I don't want to go. Well, I think that's ridiculous. That's fine. And that's the thing, guys. You will have a bit of a clash when the only person that likes a boundary or likes, when you avoid people pleasing, the only person that likes it is you.
Yeah,
No one likes a boundary. No one likes to be told what they can or can't do, or the fact that you have said no to them. But as you alluded to, mate, it's not about framing it as saying no to you. No to them. It's about saying yes to you.
Yeah.
I'm not saying no to the night out. I'm saying yes to my night in.
Yeah.
So, but again, the person with the request is never going to like it. But it doesn't matter because you'll like you. They'll get over it.
Yeah.
A day later, my partner and I were fine. At the moment, in the time, though, she didn't like it.
In that moment.
In that moment.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
So, but really, like I said, it's you want to please others. You want to just say what you can to they'll like you, and then you go home and you go, oh fuck. So let's do the reverse of that with the shame cycle I referred to earlier. Would you like to go to the party? Yeah. Great, I'll tell her we're both coming. Okay, fuck. Straight away you're going, why did I do that? Then you start judging yourself. Why can't I just say no? What's wrong with me? Like, I don't want to go. I'm a 36-year-old man. Like, I'm an adult. I'm not a child, doesn't get to decide what they want. I'm an adult. I'm such an idiot. Judgment. I always do things like this. Guilt. I'm just a people pleaser, aren't I? I do it all the fucking time. Shame. Right? Then you start to replay it over and over and over again. So you don't only suffer before the event because you don't want to go. You suffer during the event, and then you suffer after the event.
Yeah.
When you have a difficult conversation, it's what I refer to as it's like going to the hygienist. Before it, not that you're dreading it, but you're not looking forward to it, right? No one likes going to the hygienist. It's pretty uncomfortable. So you're dreading it a little bit. Then during it, it's pretty painful.
You're on about teeth hygienist, aren't you?
Correct.
Yeah.
For the most part, it's pretty uncomfortable. But afterwards, you feel amazing.
Yeah.
Right? That's what having a difficult conversation is like. It's like going to the dental hygienist. So, but a lot of people, what they don't take that approach. They take the approach of pain before, pain during, pain after. So you're always going to have pain when you're putting in a boundary. You're always going to have an element of pain when you overcome people pleasing. But it's how long you're going to suffer for and how severe is that pain going to be.
What about in the scenario where, so the example that you gave with your partner, what if it really meant a lot to her because of a close family member, for example, and then you asking, you still didn't want to go, so there's still, it's not quite a people please. Well, it could still be classed as people pleasing. So could there be more questioning up front, like who is this person? How much do they mean to you? What do you need from me in this moment?
Great question. Now, let's say, for example, it is a partner you've been with for an extended period of time, because there's a whole myriad of different scenarios that can play off this, right? But what about this? And if I say that, are you going to turn into a selfish arsehole, right? That's the challenge you've had before from people. If I just do what I want all the time, then that means that they don't ever get anything. Cool. So you should know how important it is to your partner. But it's also on the partner to communicate just how important it is for you to go. But you can still make a decision and still say no. So they have to say to you, listen, I appreciate we're going on the Friday and we're coming back on the Saturday, but I don't want to go to the event alone. And I think it'd be good if we did go and da-da-da-da-da. I can still say no and they still won't like it. However, my partner has family that live quite far away from us. And if she said it's like her brother's got young twins, for example, and a young 5 or 6 year old, she said, it's the twins' birthday. I really think we should go down for it and do this. That aligns with my values because it's family.
Yeah.
So I am going to go, even if I don't particularly want to, I will do it still.
Yeah.
Not that I'm dreading going or hating it. It's just I'm not buzzing about it. That is slightly different in that context.
One of the things that's helped me is asking more questions. So it's like a situation like that where you don't want to go to something. Because straight away it could be like, next weekend we're going here, we're going to this party. It's like, whose party? What is it? Where is it? What time does it start? Yeah, how are we getting there? Are we staying over? Because I'm the detail guy in terms of I just want to find out more information. So that's one of the things that helps me is asking more questions and then finding out if it is with a partner, like my wife, I'll ask her how important is it to her, that particular event, and how important is it for me to be there with her? And because straight away in her mind, it might just be, I don't know what's going on in her mind, so I have to ask. Because I'm a coach as well, obviously, I ask the questions to try and find out. So that's what helps me.
I like that. That's good.
Because she might just go, actually, yeah, you don't need to be there. Actually, yeah, no, actually, yeah. In fact, you could look after would you look after the boys whilst I go? All of a sudden, it's like, actually, yeah, I could go child free, for example. So it's just working out the particulars where both party wins. Everyone wins basically. So that's what I do. Ask loads of questions and then work something out. So there's a bit of negotiation in there, I suppose.
Yeah, I like that. Because, with that, so compromise.
That's the word
I get asked about this
compromise.
a lot, but you should never compromise.
Was it negotiate?
It's negotiation.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Compromising means you're both not happy.
Interesting.
You want to come to a negotiation. So, for example, people think of like a compromise. I don't want to go to the wedding. Well, I want you to come to the wedding. All right, we'll go for 4 hours then. Well, no, we have to go for 8 hours. Well, I'm only going for 4 hours. Oh, fine then.
Clash.
So I had a friend's wedding that I went to, and he invited me on the stag do, and I said, I really appreciate the invite, but on this occasion I'm not going to go, but I would love to go out, just me and you, for a meal so I can honour our friendship. Because the thought of going on a stag do with 20 guys getting pissed while I don't drink, no thank you, right? Then I had to make a decision on the wedding day. It's a 8-hour, 9-hour event. So I said to my partner, you don't have to go if you don't want to. I'm going to go, but I'm going to leave at 8 p.m. on the dot. Because I knew the itinerary and I knew when the speeches would be done by then, etc. So I knew this is when everyone starts to dance and starts to get pissed up and loud and noisy. And I was like, no thank you. So that's exactly what happened. And my partner made a decision. She said, I will come with you. I think it's going to be a good event. But she was backing me and saying, yeah, let's leave at 8 o'clock.
Right.
So I gave her the option as well. And I think a lot of people miss that point. Would you like to go is a question, or perhaps a gentle request, or I'd really like it if we could. What do you think? When you come at it from a parent state of, oh, we're going to a 30th birthday, I go into child state straight away, because when you get spoken to like a child, you tend to react like a child, and that's why you have the pause. I'm going to come back to you on that. So when it's a command, I don't respond well to that.
No.
At all. So
but some people, sorry to cut in, some people pleasers will, won't they, when it's a command, because they just do. They just
correct, because
yes.
they'll go into inner child again, and
yeah.
they'll go into vulnerability.
Yeah.
So in that case, you have to be very mindful. So if it's no, we have to go, respectfully, I don't have to do anything.
Don't have to do anything, no.
If it was worded, as you alluded to with your wife, oh, listen, it's Joe Bloggs' birthday. It really means a lot to me if you'd come. This is what's going to happen on this day for this amount of time. What do you think?
Yeah.
Because, I really appreciate all of that, but on this date, I'm still going to decline. Right? It's still okay. But if you know it's a family thing, and it is circumstantial to an extent. But again, if you know your partner, and this isn't we've just related all these examples to relationships. This could be to a boss or a client. Or some people will overwork for the client, and some people will just do too much work on a weekend at the expense of their own health, for example. As opposed to putting in that barrier and saying, unfortunately on this occasion, it's going to be tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
As opposed to this evening at 10 just because you asked me for it.
Yeah.
At 7 p.m. No, I need it tonight. Well, unfortunately, I'm out with family for dinner, so it'll have to be tomorrow. But a lot of people go, oh, okay, and they drop everything that they're doing in the moment, ruining their presence. External noise has come in. They've acknowledged the external noise and gone, right, shit, I need to do that thing now.
Such a fascinating subject.
It is,
and I think
it could go on forever.
It could go on forever, yeah. And there's so many variables, so many different angles you can come from. But I think the advice you're giving there is brilliant. And we actually dive more into this in our course, the A Game Way course. There's a whole section, module on mastering your relationships. This is mastering your relationship with yourself and mastering your relationship with other people, how to put in those boundaries, how to use effective communication, and it's brilliant. So,
but yeah, just before we go into, sorry mate, just to go on to that quickly, so just little tips to end on here. Give yourself the pause, focus on the breath, do some analysis of the situation, use crystal clear and effective communication in adult state, not in a childlike state. Communicate with your partner like an adult. Then you can put in a boundary. A boundary is essentially just saying that I've acknowledged what you want. However, I'm going to have to say what I want in this moment and why I want it. Be comfortable in the discomfort of that difficult conversation. And make sure that it's all coming from a nice, calm state.
Fantastic.
So, yeah.
Great stuff.
Brilliant.
Hope you enjoyed that, and check out the links below to join our community, the 1%, and can get stuck into the A Game Way course. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.